Hey everyone, this is episode 1 of our new podcast, The Three Not So Wise Men. My name is Chris, and these are my co-hosts.
Austin Michaelis.
And Jack Green.
We all go to the same college and do theater together. We love talking about nerdy things, but we also come up with our own ideas regarding our favorite fandoms. So how this show works is we have a wheel with a bunch of different prompts on it, and before every episode, we'll spin the wheel to take about 30 to 45 minutes to do what the prompt says, and we'll pitch it to the other two. It's why we call the wheel the pitch wheel. An example for how the wheel, some of the prompts that we have is, how would you design an Iron Man suit? But today we're just going to talk about our favorite things, particularly our top 5 movies and video games, so you guys can get to know us. So, that covers the intro. That might be a little spike on the mic, but who cares?
I didn't just buy this either.
No, but we are going to start. The wheel is going to be a major thing with this show. So we're going to start. We don't even have an order set for us presenting. It will be starting with each of us doing our 5th one, then 4th one, and proceeding up to our top one. But for now, for the order will be decided by spinning of the wheel to see who goes first and second.
Excuse me, it's the pitch wheel.
This isn't the pitch wheel.
Ah,
This
you're
is
right.
the order
Oh
wheel.
no, we're already screwing it up.
Dude, we screwed this up from the concept of this show.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, that's very true. And honestly, we're called Three Not So Wise Men because none of us are really that smart or wise, but, you know, why not? That's very fitting for us.
Austin, use the correct term. Idiots.
I prefer morons.
Buffoons.
All right, let's spin that wheel.
All right, spin the wheel. Who will be going first? So, Grace will be given his list first.
Oh, thank goodness.
Well, there's no stakes.
I know, but I just didn't want to go first.
And then the person who follows Grace will be Jack.
Okay, I'm fine.
So, yeah, we'll go. It will go. Grace gives his first slot. Jack will give his first slot. I'll give mine. And then we'll just continue down our list.
There we go.
Alrighty then. So I guess I'll just get into it. At number 5 favorite movies for me is Aladdin. I love the movie. It's one of my favorites. It's my second favorite Disney movie of all time. Robin Williams will forever live on in my heart.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we probably before we continue further, we are starting with the movies, just so everyone's well aware. If you didn't pick up on that.
And then it's not just us giving this list. We are going to be able to provide feedback, but I think that's very eloquently put. I mean, Aladdin speaks for itself.
Hey, Grace, what are your thoughts on the 2019 one?
We don't talk about that one.
What? That one's actually pretty good. That's probably one of the better ones of the remakes. But that's a topic for another time.
It's almost as good as The Glass Onion.
You shut the hell up right now. Jack, please go. What's your number 5? What's your top 5 favorite
All
movie?
right, top 5 favorite movie. My 5th one is Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Ooh.
Yeah, so Doctor Strange became my favorite Marvel character. Once I saw Benedict Cumberbatch, who happens to be my favorite actor, portray the role. And then when they went to the whole multiverse thing, before the multiverse became, part of a lot of franchises now, when it first started becoming big, I always loved the idea of different universes blending together. So when they came out with that, and then it was more of a thriller/horror movie to shake up Marvel's normal standard superhero movie, I really enjoyed that aspect of it.
I hate to say it, but also Third Eye sucked. That CGI.
Oh no, I did very much agree.
Okay, thank
I
God.
did not like that whatsoever.
Okay, cool.
It did not. That was it's not a perfect movie by any means. That's why it's number 5. But I did love it.
Okay, fair enough.
And considering how people rank the MCU, I don't commonly see Multiverse of Madness in the top 10 even.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was surprising.
Yeah, that's just we're talking about favorites, and favorites does not mean they're good. It just means that there's our favorite, and I think that needs to be stated a lot more.
Honestly, that's very fair.
And I think that's another good reason why we're doing this podcast is just because people have different factors into their favorite movies and video games.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of fun to explore that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, moving on to me, I guess. Number 5 for me is The Dark Knight. Christopher Nolan is by far my favorite director, especially with his recent release, Oppenheimer, getting an Oscar and him winning his first Oscar because of it. The Dark Knight just has great cinematography throughout it, and let's be honest, Heath Ledger's performance as Joker.
yeah.
That has yet to be topped. Jared Leto, what the hell is that?
I don't know.
But as much as I do like Joaquin Phoenix's performance in the Joker movie, and I am kind of excited to see this upcoming one with Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn.
I didn't know that.
I forgot about that. No, I knew that. I just completely forgot.
Yeah,
Now I'm
and
even
apparently
more
might be a
excited.
musical too.
If you guys don't know, Austin is the movie buff out of the three of us. So if when we're talking movies, Austin will probably be leading the charge on this.
Probably.
But yeah, and I think he does a good job, but it doesn't feel like the Joker to me. And what I really appreciate about Heath Ledger's performance is that it still feels like the Joker, but it's such a realistic and different take on the Joker. Because from like playing the Arkham games, you get more of that Joker you get from the Batman animated series, partially because it's still voiced by Mark Hamill. And while that's really cool, it's just very memorable. You still see people dressed up as that version of Joker for Halloween.
My friend dressed up as that Joker for Halloween this last Halloween.
Wow. And yeah, what's it been? 2008, so it's been
a while.
over 14 years.
It's been at
almost
least
16
3
years.
minutes.
Thank you, Grace. Thank you.
If you guys need to know anything about Crace, it's that joke right there. That kind of sucks.
If you need a daily dose of smartass, Grace has got you covered.
With 30 calories every serving.
But yeah, and then you got the whole sequence of Batman in China trying to get the mobster back to Gotham, and then because Heath Ledger's performance is so big, it completely undermines Harvey Two-Face in the movie, and that CGI still holds up. That came out in 2008. You can see his muscles moving. You can see the liquid when he takes a shot in the bar. You can see it going down his throat, and like it's so gross, but it looks so good and it's so realistic. And performances are just great across the board.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Greatest thing about it is like it's a Batman movie, but it's more of a Joker movie because you really follow him a lot more, and he just captures every moment on screen. Just very memorable, and Joker gives some of the best quotes, like, "You want to see a magic trick?
Oh, yeah.
Or this town deserves a better class of criminal,
Yeah,
and I'm gonna give it to him."
Yeah.
And the most significant one, you want to know how I got these scars?
Yeah, you made me watch that recently when I had to stay home for the weekend. Great movie. We watched all three. Loved the second one. I don't want to talk about the third one.
Yeah, it still drives me crazy that it took you this long to eventually see it.
I lived under a rock. Sue me.
Yeah, number 5, Dark Knight, great movie.
Yep.
Grace, why don't you reveal your number 4?
All right. So my number 4 is Hercules. Love Hercules. I Will Go the Distance is probably my favorite Disney song of all time.
Oh, okay.
I just spam it. It's and if I'm really in the mood for it, I'll sing it at the top of my lungs and burst a few eardrums, particularly my own. But yeah, I think it's just beautifully done. And it was during like Disney's peak, I believe. I want to say personally, they had such great movies, and I think Hercules is among the giants or among the gods. Joke intended.
Interesting. And you sure this isn't your number 1 pick? This is your favorite Disney movie?
Hercules is my favorite Disney movie. I do have another Disney movie on this list, and it's higher, but I like it more as an animation movie than a Disney movie.
Okay, I can see that. Because I know what it is, because I've known you for so long.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just,
I know it's weird, and I thought about that when you were talking about, like, oh, hey, I lied. But you know what? I also like, but we'll get into it later.
Yeah. That's at least 3 Disney movies you have on there.
Yeah. I like cartoons.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Nothing
Hey,
wrong with it.
Disney's great.
Me like cartoons. Am child.
No, I mean I love me some cartoons all the live long day. They're just not in my top 5.
I think I just like cartoons more as a TV show format than I do
Yeah,
movies. Like,
personally.
and don't get me wrong, I love Disney's movies and stuff.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
But yeah, I digress.
They're more of like I'll watch this anytime, but they're not like I hold this dear to my heart type of thing.
Yeah, like it's a lot of times when I get takeout, I'll get the takeout, come back to my room, and I'll just throw on some Disney movie. Like just last night, I threw on Incredibles as I ate McDonald's.
Ooh, that's a mood. Yeah.
But yeah, Jack, you want to go on with your number 4?
My number 4 is the movie Unbroken. Do you guys know that one?
Yeah,
No, I don't know that one.
You don't?
No, I don't think so.
So it's based off of a true story. It's about a man, and I feel horrible. Louis. It starts with a Z, Zamperino or some. I feel horrible. I can't remember his name. But basically, he was a soldier in World War II. He was on a plane that crashed, and he spent, I think it was, at the time, it blew the record for like days stranded at sea. 3 people survived the crash. 2 people were rescued by the Japanese in World War II.
Oh, okay.
He and who he was with were taken, tortured for information, and eventually brought to these camps.
Spoiler.
But that basically, I mean, that's just, yes, that's a lot of the movie, but that's just the setup for the story, really.
Oh, okay.
And then basically he's put through absolute hell on this in this camp. But the most defining moment, and it's the moment you'll see on pretty much every poster, is I call him the villain. Of the movie, he is the villain, but is also a human being who did this. They nicknamed him the Bird. He was the Japanese man in charge of this camp. And he had Louis hold a giant wooden timber above his head. Straight up above his head. What?
I was showing you the bird.
Oh, goodness.
But no, if I remember correctly, a good portion of the story is also challenging the guy's faith too, isn't it? Because
That
I
is
remember
the
faith.
second movie.
Oh, it's the second. I thought it was the first one because I remember it being like his, not only with his story about his survival, but also how his faith was challenged by it too, and it's actually like done very well.
They do that really well in Hacksaw Ridge, but in Unbroken, he doesn't. Christianity is specifically the religion he comes to, but he doesn't come to the second movie. I didn't watch the second movie. I only know that because I read the book a few years before the movie, like 2 or 3 years before the movie was announced.
Interesting. I might have to.
No,
I might have to
Hacksaw
rewatch
Ridge.
it sometime.
Yeah, Hacksaw Ridge starring Andrew Garfield.
That one I know.
Yeah.
That one's because he doesn't want to kill people.
No, he
And
was.
that's why he's a
yeah,
medic.
yeah.
That
But
was
no,
the-
I felt like it was still Unbroken. Like that was a different.
No, not in the first one. That, as far as I remember, I don't believe they mentioned religion because they're soldiers and they spent, I think
Yeah.
it was like 40 days plus at sea. So they talk about that. But I don't think he was actively. But yeah, so the most defining moment of the movie is basically everyone's in this work camp and every single person, prisoners, everyone there is stopping and looking at Louis as he had been standing there for, I believe it was hours. The sun was setting, and Louis looks up, notices all this finally, looks up at the bird, and screaming raises it straight above his head. And it's just such a beautiful moment, and it actually happened, which is even more impactful to me. It goes into the movie. Only goes through goes up until he's eventually rescued. The part 2 goes into the rest of it was him finding his faith.
I see.
Which is the second part of the book.
Okay.
That was written.
Okay.
About
Okay.
Um,
So I have to go watch this at some point. Okay.
Yeah, it's very good, and it's got some noticeable names. I can't remember. I can only remember faces right now though, but it's just beautifully done all around.
Fair enough.
Cool. Going on to my number 4, it's Moulin Rouge.
Of course.
Hey,
Of course.
I like musicals. I love Ewan McGregor.
I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah, like I'm straight. I would go all the way over to the other side for that man.
I mean, if Ryan Reynolds didn't exist,
No, I'd still take Ewan McGregor.
Really?
His vocals, dude.
That's
Like-
fair. That's fair.
Ewan McGregor has beautiful vocals and he's got range. Like as an actor, he's got so much range.
He was the villain in like Birds of
Yeah,
Prey
he
or
was Black
something.
Mask.
Yeah, and
There's
he
so
was
much range on the high ground.
Shut the hell up. I mean, fair. I mean, he won that. But anyways, Moulin Rouge, for those who don't know, is a musical, jukebox musical. So it takes up a bunch of popular songs and puts it into a musical where they just kind of progress the story through it. And it's basically a love story between a writer, played by Ewan McGregor, and a prostitute, played by Nicole Kidman. And both, like, performances across the board are just fantastic, and it's directed by Baz Luhrmann, so it's got a lot of style to the editing and just the soundtrack in general, and it's got beautiful numbers. But like I will say, the first 30 minutes, solid acid trip, and which is fair because like maybe 10 minutes into the film, the main group of guys take a shot of absinthe, and then they kind of like they visualize that them actually seeing what they're seeing with the green fairy, and then somewhere towards the medley, it becomes very serious, and then it just you believe the chemistry between Ewan McGregor and Nicole Kidman. By the time you get to the end, it is gut wrenching, and the performance is just queen of round. I don't remember the actor's name, but he played the professor, the potions professor in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. He plays like the ringleader.
Why don't you do this to me? I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he plays. I'm just in the Half
Oh
Blood
God,
Prince.
I should know this.
Horace Slughorn, I believe, is
Yeah,
the character's name.
Yeah, the character's name.
I
But
don't know the actor's name. I don't know what else I've seen him in, but I think I've seen.
yeah,
him
but
in stuff.
those are the only two things I've known
Galaxy
him for.
Quest. He was in Galaxy
Who's
Quest.
he in Galaxy Quest?
Yeah,
What was his name? Or am I thinking of someone else?
You might be thinking of someone else.
I think you're thinking of Alan Rickman.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman played Severus. He was not the potions master in.
Oh yeah, you're right.
He was
right.
in.
Well,
he's,
He
No,
was.
because it became Defense Against Dark Arts.
yeah.
Yeah.
In that movie, he was
See, that's why I was confused because because Snape is
the potions master up until that.
But
that
yeah,
point.
anyways.
and I haven't seen Half-Blood Prince in forever. But go on.
Yeah,
That's
but
fair.
anyways, this guy plays Harold Ziegler, who's kind of like the ringleader of the Moulin Rouge, and he's so funny in this role, but also he can be so dark about it, and it's really cool, and it's really funny to watch him sing like a virgin.
Okay, now I'm gonna see this. I have not seen this.
You
yet,
haven't
but
seen
now
it?
I have to.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're gonna see it with me. Trust me.
I feel like we're all getting some movies to watch after that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, that's the best part about this. But beautiful, beautiful song numbers and performed very well, and heartbreaking, gut wrenching ending, and it's just beautiful. Like I've seen this movie so many times, I've lost count, and I still get a tear brought to my eye towards the end.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right. So my number 3
Mm-hmm.
is not a Disney animated film.
What? No freaking
I
way.
know, right? It is actually this one. This holds a very special place in my heart, and I think you would know it, Austin. But I'm not sure about you. I think you might know it.
Find out in a second.
It's Ponyo by Studio Ghibli.
It's
It's an anime.
That's an
Right.
animated movie.
Yeah, it's about the the cover is it's about a girl. She's wearing pink.
Yeah.
Sure.
And, but the movie is an anime, right?
Yeah, it's
I know which one you're talking
it's an
about.
anime
I have-
movie.
I've seen it once, but it was like a decade ago.
Okay, so just a kind of a real quick plot. So Ponyo is a child of the spirit of the ocean, and Ponyo wants to live with humans because she finds them interesting. And she meets a boy who I forget his name at the moment. She falls in love with him, and he has to accept her to kind of save the world is the best way I can put it.
Mhm.
Like the world is being flooded, and it's just this. It's just her journey into becoming a human for him,
Yeah.
because she wants to live among him and his people. But this movie holds a very special place in my heart because it was my very first experience with anime as a child. We have at the old library at my hometown. They have a movie section, and then sometimes me and my friends would go and check out some movies. And I found Ponyo just by chance, and I thought it would look interesting, and I wanted to watch it. And I took it home. We rented it for the week, and I watched it, loved it. I still love it to this day. Probably my favorite Studio Ghibli movie.
I remembered that she was like a spirit of the water turned human, but I didn't think that was actually the plot because I couldn't remember enough about the movie. So I thought I was just misremembering it. But once you said,
No.
I was like, okay, yes, I do remember at least that.
Yeah.
part of it. I believe that was technically my first introduction to anime too. I just barely remember it.
Yeah, I remembered it recently when I found the DVD at Walmart, and I was like, buy.
That's fair.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's my third.
My third is This is a Disney movie because I looked it up. I think the next one is too. But Iron Will. You guys heard of that?
I've heard of it. I
It's
think I might have
about-
watched
it's
it several years ago.
It's about an Iditarod race.
I
The
don't
sled
think-
dogs, for anyone who doesn't know what that is.
Okay.
So basically, it's from a bit. I'll explain why it's so special to me in a minute. But basically, it's about a young guy named Will who I haven't seen this movie in a while. But basically, it's about a kid who basically he grew up with sled dogs. I believe his dad died. And
Spoilers.
first 10 minutes of the movie. I think it's the opening scene. He needs to get this money. I believe it's because their family just needs the money. He also needs to prove to himself that he can do this. So the Iditarod race was you enter. I don't know if this was actually the Iditarod. I believe it was, but this was decades ago.
I
It's
think I
set.
remember this movie.
So-
I just never seen
Yeah.
it.
So he shows up with the money, and there's all these famous racers on on a stage, and there's a bunch of rich people, and there's this kid from out of nowhere in Alaska. It's just like, yeah, I'm here to race. I got my money right here. Then they're like, you need the late fee, and then they have the reporter character's like, I'll pay it. So all of a sudden, this kid, and I'm thinking, he's like not even 20, is thrown into a very dangerous race. It's a lot safer nowadays, but at the time it was very, very dangerous. And then it's about him having to go. It's a multiple day journey traveling across Alaska on sled dogs in the literal freezing cold. And it's him trying to win this race, and it's just beautiful. It's heartfelt. If you like animals, maybe not watch it because it's
No, you probably shouldn't watch
so it's not like Guardians of the Galaxy 3 dark, but
Oh,
it
damn.
does. But it is a very
you went there. Okay.
No, it is a very dangerous race, and these are live animals in it. So I will say some stuff that people and animals do get hurt.
Okay.
But it is very. I just love it as a movie, but it holds a special place in my heart because it was one of the movies my late grandma had in her
I
DVD
see.
collection. Every time we went over, we would watch a movie while we ate dinner, and that we only had watched what she had on DVD, and that was one of them. That was my favorite every time. So anytime we could watch it, anytime I got to pick, I think we took turns picking, and that was the one I always picked, unless we had just watched it for whatever reason. But yeah, that's my number 3. Not quite, Hercules Disney type of movie, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right, going to my number 3. This is an American classic, hands down. Forrest Gump.
Oh yes.
Like, I don't know how else to explain this.
Yeah.
Like,
It was
Tom
one-
Hanks gives arguably one of probably his best performance in his whole career.
Mhm.
Maybe an exception for Castaway because he does a hell of a job in that. But
It's a good movie.
yeah, but with Forrest Gump, he just like the way it captures so many historical moments in U.S. history, as well as being a really grounded story.
Mhm.
It's just beautiful, and it does a great job capturing how there's some really really crappy moments in life, but it can also be quite beautiful at the same time. The long distance love story, which I will admit I don't like entirely, but like, yeah, because Jenna has some problems, but it's beautiful to watch on screen. Like when you're watching it, you don't really notice the problems, but it's kind of one of those things you think about after you watch it. But it's just beautiful in the moment, and it's just a really great film. And I don't think I can say anything else besides give it high praise.
All
Chris,
right.
you want to go to your second?
Number 2 is the one and only, actually, besides the honorable mention, movie that is not animated. It's Deadpool.
There you go.
Yeah.
One of us had to have it on there.
Yeah. You don't? Okay. Anyways.
Oh,
What, you don't have it on there, Jack?
You don't have Deadpool on your list?
No. We're talking about favorites, not ones I thoroughly. I have different criteria for favorites.
Okay, that's fair.
Clearly.
I think everyone does.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Spoiler, it's not on my list at all. I don't think it's my top 10 either. I still really like it. I enjoy
Yeah.
it.
Okay. Fair.
It's
fair.
in my top 10. I'll say it's in. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great movie. Keep going. Go.
No, you're
Tell us
fine.
why. Tell us why.
No, I love the Merc with the mouth. I've loved his character ever since I first was introduced to him way back in the comics, and Ryan Gosling. Ryan Reynolds does an amazing
Didn't
job.
you just mention Ryan Reynolds?
I know, and that's why I'm so confused.
He wishes he could be right.
Oh, I mean, don't we all wish we were Ryan Reynolds? Though?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I love Ryan Reynolds' performance of the Merc with the Mouth, Wade Wilson. I love the movie. I wish there was a little bit more gun violence in it, but you got that in the second episode.
Second episode.
Or second, what the fuck? Second movie.
Yeah, we did get a lot more.
I think my sugar high.
And I think that might be partially why I like the second one a little bit more than the first one. Plus Cable.
I will say, as soon as I said gun violence, you both looked at me and then looked at the mic.
It's like,
Well,
please note
it's
that
just-
we do not support any gun violence of any kind on this channel.
No,
I mean,
on this
okay.
podcast.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is
we know.
yeah,
We know
I
what
wish
you mean, but
there was
we-
more guns.
More. Don't know about that one. Just more action. More action.
More
would be better.
Yeah,
action,
okay,
yeah.
that's fair. That's a
For
better way to
sure.
phrase it.
Yeah, it's just when you used it, we knew what you meant, but when you use it in that term, especially in America, you think of something different.
Yeah, but I wasn't thinking of that just
Yeah.
because I'm just talking about the movie. Anyways,
Yeah, no.
Jack.
It was the first one with the whole counting down from 12 bit, right? At the opening.
I don't think
yeah.
It was the
Oh, is
first
it
one,
the
right?
first
Yeah.
one to do
Yeah.
that?
The counting from 12.
Yeah, he has 12 bullets
Yeah.
left.
Yeah.
and-
Are you saying like the first movie to ever do that, or like just the first? It was
no,
the
it
first
was
Deadpool?
of those two. Which one was in that?
Oh, yeah, it was the first
Because I
one.
get them mixed up a good bit.
Yeah,
Because
it's
their tone is.
it's the opening action scene to that movie.
Yeah, that one.
And that's one of the
But
reasons
that,
why
that
I like
does
it
go
so
to show
much.
that like they're very consistent films.
Oh,
and
yeah.
here's hoping with Deadpool and Wolverine that it stays the same.
It's gonna be the same. It's just I think we're gonna get a lot more variety to the cast.
Well, yeah, you get
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman in it. It's gonna
Yeah.
be great.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I just don't think it's gonna be like super similar, but I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be in a good way.
Please note, Hugh Jackman would probably be my second guy I'd go all the way over for.
Really? Okay.
Not gonna
We're not gonna.
Have you
fix that.
seen him shirtless?
Yes, for research purposes.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that's what they were.
I was gonna go. I was gonna make a joke.
too.
I was gonna make a joke going along with Austin. I don't know what Crace's problem is with Hugh Jackman, but anyway.
I have no problem with Hugh Jackman.
Number 2.
Yes, go on.
My number 2 is Bridge to Terabithia. As you can tell, my criteria for favorites is more like dear to my heart as opposed to what I enjoy watching and what I think is good. Bridge to Terabithia was easily my favorite movie growing up as a kid. It was beautiful, it was heartfelt, it was soul crushing at the end. Classic tale. Definitely had a huge crush on the female actress because when I started watching it, I was basically those characters' ages.
Now
And
now I'm
you're-
gonna judge.
Yeah, now
What
you're
movie
gonna
is
look
this?
it up. Now you're gonna look her up.
Yeah,
I'm not mad at it. Go ahead, do
What-
it.
no, the movie again.
Oh, Bridge to Terabithia. It's based off of a book. I actually never read the book though, but no.
First result. Oh wait, this looks familiar.
Yeah, she's in a few things, and then later she was.
Is that Josh Hutcherson?
It is.
Whoa!
He's the lead guy. Yeah. She, I believe, is the. I forget her name. I keep forgetting her name, but she stars in the movie Silver Surfer.
Oh, this chick.
Yeah.
I think I've seen this poster.
It's just a beautiful movie about a kid struggling with bullying and grief, and it just comes through. The visuals are amazing. The storytelling, everything. I just love everything about it. It's just not it's not a movie you want to watch if you're looking for like a happy. If you want something happy and lighthearted. Like it certainly has its moments and it ends very well, but there are times. And it also gets for kids, it gets a little scary at points, but like in a good way. Like there's some stakes involved at some points. But anyway, yeah, I think it's a great movie, especially for a kid. It's all about imagination too, which was very important to me growing up and still is. So, yeah, beautiful movie.
All right, going to my number 2. I'm gonna go with the original Scream movie.
I haven't
And
seen it.
oh, okay, that maybe next Halloween.
Have I? I might have. Go ahead.
The main killer is Ghostface, and what I really appreciate about this film was that at the time it was the first of its kind to be kind of a parody, but also like its own thing at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It was just really funny to watch him be self-aware about all these past horror movies,
Mhm.
while also kind of doing the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the twist at the end has been revealed time and time again, but like it was the first time that kind of thing has been done
Mm-hmm.
with a slasher movie,
Mhm.
and it's just very fun. And another part about the Scream franchise I just love in general is the Guess Who portion of it, because with the mixture of the slasher genre, you also get a little bit of the mystery whodunit kind of situation, and it's always fun to try and guess that. And then like you just get phenomenal performances, and like this was the role that got Neve Campbell up to stardom. Although I'm not sure what else she got besides Rampage, or not Rampage, Skyscraper. But yeah, she does a great job in this franchise, and I'm really glad that she is going to be coming back in this next one. Although there is a lot of controversy behind that, but Scream, hands down favorite horror movie, second favorite movie overall. I just love it, and it's my go-to. It's not that scary, but it's a lot more fun. All right, before we go on to our number ones, we're gonna go ahead and talk about our honorable mentions, and basically all that means is we're not gonna go deep into detail about them.
Yeah.
Chris, you want to give yours?
Real quick before you do that, so after this we were gonna do any overlaps between us, and we were gonna talk about if my number 3 was Chris's number 1. Like we were going to talk about that, but so far I don't think we have a single overlap.
No, we haven't had a single overlap at all.
It might happen when we get to video games, but might yet. But I'm just surprised. I'm genuinely surprised that we have not had a single overlap. We might with the honorable mentions at number 1, but
it's such a mixed bag too.
Yeah.
Like mine's mostly been animation. Yours mostly been just like heartfelt child
being stories.
Yeah. Yours have just been cult classics.
Cult classics, kind of pop culture.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fit-
like
fanatics
objectively
ones.
I mean,
good movies.
yeah.
Yeah, that's more your
What is
style.
that?
Anyways.
I know at least half of them have been nominated, and like 2 of them have won awards.
Yeah. And it just further drives home that you're the movie buff. So
Yeah, and I think this is a great way to show like us. I think this is a great opening episode to show us.
Yeah.
even if we have to cut out a few moments, but
Probably more than a few. Just time reasons, just time constraints.
yeah, that's my fault, and I'm sorry. Okay,
That's all of us.
honorable mentions. Baby Driver is mine. Oh, really?
No, it's not on my list, but it is so good. I just rewatched it.
I mean, I like the movie. It's not. It was kind of hard. I wanted to put it in the list, but I also. It's got a great love story. I think the action's pretty cool, and I love the sound design. I'm a sucker for sound design, but it didn't make a mark.
I honestly don't think the love story is that good, but it's still but the movie's just brilliant. You don't need that good of a love story.
Yeah.
There's just not a lot of layers to it.
Yeah.
This is my thing.
That's honestly fair, and I agree with you.
Because it just wasn't a focus. It just wasn't a focus.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't. Yeah.
It was more a focus on Baby, but then the
Yeah.
2 of them. But yeah.
Yeah, and then
But go on, Jack.
my honorable mention was Some Kind of Wonderful. It's a rom-com from I think the 1980s. I want to check. I don't remember. Basically, it's a very 80s movie. Guy's in love with prom queen. Has a best friend he never notices, but she likes him. She's very. I think they might have described her as tomboyish in the movie, but she's not very, dolled up prom queen type of thing that you normally get from an.
Is it one of the she takes her glasses off and she's beautiful? Okay.
No, I'm glad they didn't do that. Basically, the main guy, he has his best friend who she likes him. I can't remember any of the characters' names. It's been a bit, but basically he has her and a couple other people help him out to have this great date with this prom queen that he's been in love, has had a crush on for a long time. And then at the very end, and leading up to it too, his friend, the girl who likes him, says "Have you ever kissed anyone?" He's like, "No." She goes, "Well, if you're gonna be going out with this prom queen, you're gonna want to know how to kiss someone." And she uses that as an excuse to kiss him, but then her feelings overwhelm her. She just kind of bolts, which I just really like that moment. They just did very well. And then of course because it's an 80s movie, at the very end, he ends up going to his best friend, realizing that she likes him and he likes her back.
Yeah.
I think she does come in and I think she does at one point wear a beautiful dress. I don't think I can't remember that part. Honestly.
Well, it was a stereotype for a reason. It happens,
Yeah,
and especially
yeah,
in that time period, it happened a lot.
It was that part. I don't remember if it was specifically she got dolled up, or I just remember him leaving the prom queen to go to see her, literally running.
Running in the rain.
I don't know if it was the rain, but it might have been. But yeah, it's very. I don't know. I just watched it. I'm like, I love this movie. I think I've legitimately only seen it once, but it's always of all the 80s rom-coms, it was one that stood out to me. I don't even think objectively it's a really good movie. I just love it.
That's fair.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's my honorable mention.
All right, so I actually have 3 honorable mentions, and I'll just go through them.
Yeah.
idea.
First one is Zootopia, and
Ooh,
that
really?
that would be my pick for the Disney one. I just really like it. It's fairly recent, and it's just really entertaining to watch. I still laugh at a lot of the jokes, especially the sloth DMV. That gets me still.
Flash.
I remember seeing it in the trailer for whatever movie I was watching before it came out,
Yeah.
and I just remember, here you go, and then okay, let's get this. It's night. But yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that. And it's still
Yeah.
funny to this day. Another one, A Quiet Place. Really fun thriller franchise, and John Krasinski does a great job in his directorial debut for a feature film. Because I know he had a couple credits to a couple episodes of The Office prior,
Yeah.
but like he did a good job, and the sequel was really good. Super excited to see the one that comes out this summer. Although he's not attached to that. Still, it's a great world, and it's very fascinating, and I'm excited to see what they do in New York on day 1.
Yeah, that's gonna be very.
And then my final honorable mention is Top Gun Maverick.
There you go.
This is my example. This is the perfect example of a legacy sequel done correct. Not only does it do a good job as being a sequel, but it surpasses the original one by so much, and then makes Maverick more likable. It just kind of grounds the story more. The mixture of Hans Zimmer and Lady Gaga score in this movie is really, really beautiful. Miles Teller does a great job as the son of Maverick's former partner. It's just beautiful all around. Like, great cinematography, great score, and you actually performances are so genuine and heartfelt that it's just beautiful.
I haven't seen either, but I've only heard good things about it, and I've actually seen more. I've seen more behind the scenes stuff for Top Gun Maverick than I've seen of the actual thing, because they
Same
yeah,
here.
because they put so much, like, when they
They
publicized it,
they
were
did
like,
great marketing on that film.
Oh yeah, like they were talking about like all the cameras and stuff and all the ways they were able to film the pilots while they were flying and everything.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Well, the fact that they actually got the actors to fly the
Yeah,
planes, that was really cool.
and we all know Tom Cruise can fly an actual.
Well, yeah,
plane,
but like getting Miles Teller, Glenn Powell, who's a current rising star because of that film.
yeah.
I really enjoyed it, and I definitely recommend it. You could probably even skip the original one and just watch this one because it is so freaking good.
Yeah.
Cut time.
Yep. All right. Let's go to our number 1. Grace, what is your favorite movie?
All right. My favorite movie is also another Disney movie. I know.
Surprise.
Big surprise. Big surprise. But I love it more as just a beautiful animated movie. It's Lilo and Stitch. This movie has a very special place in my heart. I loved the TV show growing up, and I particularly love the Leroy and Stitch, the final episode, the final movie.
Mm-hmm.
I still keep learning stuff about this movie that just makes me love it more and more. It's just a beautiful story that I deeply relate to, and I love it. Stitch is by far one of my favorite characters. It's the reason why I have a Stitch impression. It's the reason why blue is one of my favorite colors. I love this movie.
Do it.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Do it.
You said you have the impression. Now you have to.
Do it.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
Ohana means family. Family means nobody gets left behind or forgotten.
I've heard better. Anyway. No, it's a
Crushed, but fair.
No, I was mostly teasing. It's way better than what I could do.
Damn it.
But yeah, no.
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 But nope,
No.
not good. No, just kidding. No, that is a great one.
Yeah, it's a great number 1.
And I honestly forgot it was Disney. Like, when you think of Disney, I don't think of Lilo and Stitch. I think of Lilo and Stitch as its like own entity. It's that good.
Fun facts about that movie: that final sequence when they were flying the plane, when they were avoiding the hilltops, they actually had to change that.
Yeah.
Because originally it was going to be in the city with someone getting destroyed, but they had to change that because 9/11 just happened.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it just happened.
Like just happened. So that was like one of the final edits to the film.
Right?
Yeah.
Lilo and Stitch came out June 16th, 2002.
No, it still would have been one of the final edits because animation takes a while to.
Yeah, no, it would
You
have been
can't
one of the
just.
final things.
Yeah, because they work on that for years.
Yeah, especially then because they
Yeah, 'cause
the
they
technology
still
for
hand-
developing animation.
Like it was during that period when they were mixing, doing that cool mix between hand drawn and 3D animation.
Yeah.
No, 04 was when the second one came out. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Jack, what is your number 1 film?
My number 1 favorite movie. Grace knows this, and I'll tell a quick story as to why in a second. Hopefully Austin knows this too.
don't think I do.
I'm sure you'll remember.
I'll learn.
You'll learn in a second. When me and Chris were playing D&D with some friends. Well, the DM was a friend of ours, and the rest of them I hadn't met yet. I've gotten to know a few of them a little bit better, but anyway. In it, during that, it was a one-shot, so during that session, someone insulted this movie, and it broke my heart.
Yeah.
I felt it break.
Yeah.
I walked up. I stood and walked to the door, like, I was a good 30 feet away from the group, just trying not to run out the door.
It was a true hold me back moment.
It was very much that. But yeah, my favorite movie of all time, since the second I saw it, is The Princess Bride.
Okay, that's a
Yeah,
great one.
dude.
That is a very good film.
Yes.
I love that film. I'm sad it's not even in my top 10, but it's so good.
I would have put it in my honorable mentions if I knew you weren't going to talk about it. So I was like, but just
Yeah, you knew I was going to talk. You knew this was my top one. I
Yeah.
have said many
I think
times
you might have
this.
said this to me. Too.
Yeah, because also I play Magic the Gathering. Major nerd, like all the nerd lights are flashing red right now.
Well, you're on this podcast, so of
I
course they are.
know. Like even for this podcast, I
the
play.
requirement is to be a nerd.
Okay, no, let me tell you why the lights are flashing even more. It's because I play Magic the Gathering, and in it they have special edition cards from different franchises and stuff to try and make more money and give the fans something extra, and then bring more people into playing the game because it's crazy expensive. They did Princess Bride. The second I was actually on the using the restroom when I saw this, I was sitting on the toilet when I saw this, and I freaked out. I saw. I do that right as Chris.
Please no, Chris.
Chris is
Chris is dying.
Had to choose between a literal spit take on the mic or choking to death on water.
Way to
from laughter.
take one for the team, Chris.
Yeah.
Water bottles are flying. So.
Yes. Goodness. So I saw that they announced that they were doing that, and I immediately put it on my story. I don't post on my story too often anymore, and I was telling anyone I knew who even had ever mentioned the movie. Like I was so excited. They are displayed on my wall.
Oh, I gotta still have them.
Yeah.
All right.
They
well,
are displayed on my wall right now. There are two things hung up on my walls. A calendar I got for free to keep track of the dates, and those cards.
I love that fandom. The calendar fandom. It's
Yeah.
great.
This one's the puppy calendar fandom.
No, dude.
Does it got
Classic.
All right, Austin, what's your favorite? Top one. Favorite movie of all time.
Go.
My favorite movie of all time is Inception by Christopher Nolan. Like I said,
Really?
Christopher Nolan is my favorite director, and Inception is such a great idea. Like, for starters, it is definitely a heist movie. But what's unique about it is that you're going into dreams, and then you're not stealing anything. You're actually planting ideas, and that's just incredible and very unique. Also, it does a great study, or Leonardo DiCaprio gives a great performance because A, it's Leonardo DiCaprio, but B, it really shows how a man can cope with loss and how it kind of almost becomes an addiction, and it kind of just shows what he has to do to overcome grief. And I think that's done very beautifully. And of course, again, since Christopher Nolan, there's beautiful cinematography throughout it. Great use of practical effects. There's a scene where the whole hallway's kind of spinning. So instead of doing some weird, putting them on a green screen and just making that visual stuff, they actually built a set.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That spins around, and it looks incredible, and it looks so awesome. Another thing to mention is the score by Hans Zimmer in it. So good, and his specific piece Time is just so iconic, and I just at times throughout the day I'll hear the ba ba ba, and it's just incredible. And the ending is so good, and it's actually, and because of how the story is, it earns a spot to be kind of just leave it up to interpretation of what you think actually happened, and it's just a great film overall.
I know you just went on this few-minute rant on why this amazing this movie is, but when you said the hallway scene, the only thing I could think of, didn't High School Musical do that too? They did. I'm pretty.
Yes,
No,
they
you're
did,
thinking, I'm
actually.
sorry. I think you're thinking about Daredevil. That they're known for their hallway scenes, especially their one-shot ones.
Oh yeah, that was crazy. But yeah, sorry.
I think you're right. There is
one.
an
They do a
it's
very
in the
quick
third
one.
one
Third one, Troy's singing, and the hallway, and he's overwhelmed, and the hallway spins around him. It's very brief. It's not cool.
Yeah.
He basically just stands there and like sits and like slides carefully as he sings. That's all he does.
See,
But that does happen.
But
You
if
know,
you're just sitting there and singing, that's nowhere near as impressive. With
Oh,
the
no,
reception,
it's not.
because like they're fighting and
Oh, I
moving
know.
around very chaotically in the hallway.
Oh, I
It's
know.
just
I just
amazing.
think it's fun. I just think it's funny you were talking about this, and the only thing I could think of was High School Musical.
Yeah.
And I know I haven't seen Inception. I've been told to watch it thousands of
I haven't seen it.
times, but
I'm
I
making-
know it's really good.
All right, I'm making both of you watch Inception.
Yeah, I mean,
I
that's
gotta
the
make
last-
you watch Moulin Rouge too. So.
Oh yeah, I actually do. I am very much down for watching that. Inception, I'm not like avidly wanting to watch it this second. But yeah, that's all the movies, right? We went through all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a single one overlapped.
Yeah, that's. I think that's all the movies. So
Yeah. Not a single one overlapped. We are going to take this time to talk about any overlapping ones. There wasn't a single one, not even honorable mentions, which I think is awesome.
I mean, we all had ones that we know.
Oh yeah, there was
that we
definitely
still
ones-
like.
Yeah, if we went to top 10, there would have been so much overlap.
Oh,
for
for sure.
Yeah, and I think
but-
if I rearranged, I could easily fit Princess Bride into my top 10.
Oh yeah, easily.
Yeah.
But I just think there was some that like I wasn't expecting for sure. There's some I never heard of.
With that note, do we want to go into the video game section?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
But what I think we should do is respin the wheel for the order just to
Okay.
shake things up a little bit.
I mean, I had the same thought, but I didn't.
I
thought
just, honestly,
you-
it's nice to know that we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, spinning the wheel.
All right, first person to go.
First person for video games is Jack.
Okay, see, I'm fine with that.
All right, second person to go. Ooh, that's really close. It will be me,
Okay.
followed
Okay.
by Crace going third.
All right.
Oh,
so
mine is the finale. Okay.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Well, we'll talk after that. So you can take a little bit of pressure off, but still a lot of pressure. So I feel like there's gonna be there's gonna be some overlap, especially.
I don't know. I feel like movies we would have had more of a chance of
I thought
overlap.
so too,
But
with
I don't
my
know.
number 5,
I
it might.
I feel like we have
I
all have
doubt
a
it.
lot of. I feel like there'd be one game where all three of us would have. But I don't know if anyone else has it, because video games all goes down to different play styles and what
Yeah.
kind of games, and that like just like movies, there's so many different genres, and like even those genres have subgenres.
Mhm.
Like
Oh, yeah.
fighting games in particular,
Mhm.
you got like 2D fighters, 3D fighters, platform fighters.
Yeah.
That's just crazy. So
Yeah.
Jack, why don't you tell us what is your number 5?
You know what? I think we should each go and talk about our specific play styles. Like, what's the genre we play the most?
Ooh, that would be
Yeah, that's
Just really briefly, we should go in the order. Just
Yeah.
quickly, all of us do that.
all right. So Jack, what's your play style of games?
Mine are our favorite, like role playing games, narrative heavy. It's got to be a good story. I'm not really good with like needing to be super oriented for controls. So like fighting games, even Super Smash Bros. I have trouble with, honestly. Like I'm really bad at anything combos, so it has to be dumbed down. I don't want a lot of hard gameplay. I want a good story is what I want to do. Or I want to turn off my brain and do something simple. Or I want to shoot some virtual characters. I don't know. Sometimes I'm in a shooter mood, but mostly it's story driven. If I can get a story driven shooter that's also somehow in a made up world, fantasies, anything
Pal
like
World.
The thought that went in my head was more the Outer Worlds, but sure, Pal World works too. All right,
What's
Austin,
wrong,
what's
Pokemon
your
fan?
playstyle?
What's wrong, Okay.
All right, so it's my playstyle is very contradicting because I am very all over the place. I like to try different games. Like Jack, I do love very open world story driven games. I enjoy those a lot. I'd say I definitely done my fair share of shooting games, like Call of Duty, Battlefield, Star Wars Battlefront. Love playing those games, and I do have a shooter on my top 5 list. But I'd probably say like one I've kind of always done my whole life have been fighting games. And I've never been like ultimately competitive about it. At least not like online. I gotta be this high ranked level. I love just playing with people on the couch next to me, or just in the room, and or like even just battling together with friends online, learning fun characters and trying to see how high of a combo I can get. I suck, by the way, but it's just fun to do. Mortal Kombat, I've been playing since at least like 2011 or maybe a little bit later, because my dad was really awesome and let us play that MK9 when it came out, because it had the tag team and they could turn off the blood, and it was just a very fun mode. Then I really fell in love with it with the Injustice games. had a lot of fun with those. So a lot of the NetherRealm Studios fighting games have been good. I'm not too big on platform fighters, mostly because I never really had a Switch up until recently. I haven't really been big on Smash Bros, but like a couple years ago when Multiverses came out, that was like the coolest thing I could find because you get like Batman and Superman, but then you also get Shaggy and a bunch of other WB characters.
Yeah.
And I'm like, has a roster that I like. And then you get kind of that mix up, and you're just like, okay, I can get into this. And so, yeah, I'm excited for that to relaunch later this summer, early this summer. And yeah, I'd just say I'm more of a fighting game person. Maybe maybe an all-round gamer.
I think I fit in the same category as an all around gamer. Personally, I love open world games. Like, if the bigger the map, the more fun I have. Just an example, and just a small little humble brag. This is not in my top 5, by the way, but the what is it called? Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
It took me 2 months, but I got all 900 Koro seeds in the one playthrough.
Damn.
I barely got off the first plateau thing. I just got a horse.
And I got golden poop. But yeah, I love open world. Like Jack, I love role playing games. But like I love, but I also love just simple games that I can just turn my brain off with, like Slime Rancher, and Minecraft. But yeah, I just love all kinds of games. So
I was gonna mention a game, but it's probably in one of your top 5, if not both of yours. So I'm not gonna mention it. Anyway, all right. We ready?
Yep, Jack, kick us off. What's your number 5?
So I just rewrote my list. Because there was a game mentioned that I was actually ended up with my rewritten really high up. I just somehow completely forgot about. I don't know how I forgot. Because I was reminded of it really recently. So it moved the list around quite a bit. But my number 5 is still the same. This might be one that has overlap, I'm not sure. Hogwarts Legacy.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah,
I just finished that.
Yeah, me and Austin have been talking a little bit because I know he's been playing it for a little bit. But yeah, Hogwarts Legacy, major Harry Potter fan. My lanyard is Harry Potter. I think I've read the entire book series a total of 5 times through. There was one, because back in late middle school, early high school, I was reading the entire series once a year, and then one year I was trying to like break my own record, and I read the entire series in a week. It was pretty much all I did, but I read the entire series in a week.
Jack,
I was homeschooled.
That's fair.
Yeah.
you need a life.
I was homeschooled.
You're one to talk, Grace.
Okay. Can't argue.
I mean, that's why we have the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I really struggled to fit this into my schedule, so I'll get on my level of way too much to do and putting way too much on your plate and all the stress. And anyway, Hogwarts Legacy. Let's talk about that.
Definitely a big love letter to the Potter fans.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's so many like Easter eggs. Like there's a quest called Follow the Butterflies.
Yeah.
Like there's so many little things. We get to see Peeves for the first time. Peeves was a poltergeist in
He's annoying.
the books. He's not in the movies because he isn't prevalent enough for him to warrant.
Honestly, I'm kind of glad he's not in the movies because he was annoying.
Yeah.
I didn't run into him a lot, but every time I despised it. It was like, first time he came on screen, I was like, oh, I don't think I like this dude.
Yeah.
He's an annoying little shit.
Yeah, that's all he is. So he doesn't really work. Like, it's not needed for the movies. Honestly, a lot of what he does is slow the story down, which provides a major obstacle for the characters in the first few books. But then they learn to work around it. But anyway, yeah, we got to see him for the first time. It does a lot of different things. You can ride and capture magical beasts, which incorporates more Fantastic Beasts and where to find them. It just pulls a lot of different stuff together. Plus, you can also be a dark wizard if you so choose.
Mm-hmm.
It's just all around great. It's the only game I'm like really willing to learn combos for, and even then, it's not. You don't need to do super cool combos to do.
I think it was the first game where I got a combo over 100. And I wasn't even trying to. I was just in the fight, and then I got an achievement on my Xbox saying, "Oh, reach a combo of 100." I was like, damn,
really?
I felt bad for the Arkham fans because I played Batman Arkham City or the whole Arkham trilogy. Never really got past 30. So, eesh.
Yeah, no, what I normally do is I summon the enemies so they're floating in the air.
Mm-hmm.
I freeze them, and then I hit them with fire, and it knocks most minions out. like the grunts out, like just with that. And if you like make it, you use your skills so like the spells can do like area damage. You fly through all the grunts, and then you just need a more specialized.
Yeah,
set
my combo was a mixture, or going back and forth between Accio and Levioso.
Yep.
And do the hit combo, either bring them closer or just lift them back up, hit them again, and then finish them with a fire attack.
Yeah.
And yeah, I found that to be very effective.
Yeah.
Also, the dashing ability.
Was so
much fun.
So you can unlock a thing where Krace is just like kind of like sitting near you.
I haven't played it yet.
Yeah, so you can unlock actually fairly early on. You know, most games you press B to dodge, so you can do that. But you can go further if you hold it. You like
you do like a cool magical zip.
Yeah.
I think you saw me play it a couple times.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of it. I would love to play it. I also love Harry Potter, but I'm broke.
Yeah. No, it's just a great game. But yeah, but it's just not even like I think with the movies I made my examples like these are stuff that's near and dear to my heart. That one's not really one of them, but it's a great game. So it's top 5 or number 5 for me.
All right, number 5 for me. I didn't want to initially put it because whenever I think about it, I don't necessarily. I play it a lot, and I just don't necessarily see it as my favorite game. But I had this factor in that I play this game so much. And I've put more money into it than I wish to admit to. But I have to say number 5 for me is Fortnite.
God damn it.
It's just, I've been playing this game since like 2017. And so like I've been playing since like season 3 when it was first starting to take off. And I have played every single season since. And it's just been a mixture because I've enjoyed the gameplay. I've had friends that have played it, and like it's the free-to-play game that everyone's trying to copy right now.
Yeah.
But it's also the most successful one because it does it right. You can earn back all the money you spent to get the next battle pass. Like game mechanics aren't locked behind paywalls or something.
Yeah,
and like I do admit that their skins are still a little overpriced, but like it's all just cosmetic stuff, and they do such a great job. Gameplay is fun, and especially nowadays since they've introduced creative and UEFN, they've just had so many customization that you don't even need to be a shooter for it. You can just build stuff. Like they just last December they released a Lego mode, like a Guitar Hero mode, which currently you can't really use the old Guitar Hero instruments, but they're actually working on making that a thing now.
Oh.
So they've got a lot, and they got their own racing mode because it's owned by Epic Games, which also owns Rocket League and Fall Guys.
Yeah.
They're because of UEFN, and I think they just announced this today as of recording. They're going to be bringing Fall Guys into the UEFN, so that way you get those assets to build more maps, and you can do it like with it. It's kind of become like a Roblox, but it actually pays the creators a lot more too.
Yeah. And
I had a huge cultural impact, and I've just played it. I've had fun playing it with friends all throughout the years. I've been lucky enough to keep playing it all this time with a full squad. Maybe the squad's changed over the years, but like every season I've played with at least a full squad once, and it's all been people I know. It's just been fun, and I've gotten friends who said that they would never play it before.
Okay.
And
so I feel like I need to say something. He pressured me. I eventually caved. I play it now. Do I love it? No.
But you still have fun. Like
I still have
I'm not
fun.
saying it's not like you're like it's the best game ever. I'm not hearing you praise that.
No.
It's just more like, hey, it's a good game, especially with crossplay becoming more and more important these days. Having a game, especially when you got a large group of friends, like having a game where you can play on all different platforms and more than 4 players, it's just a very fun and unique experience.
I will say it's a very fun game, and I do like playing it with everyone.
I don't initially want it to be on my top 5, but if I'm being honest with myself, it is a top 5 game, and it's played such an important part in my life.
That's fair.
So that's
Honestly,
why it's my number 5 slot.
That is completely fair.
Chris, what is your number 5?
Okay, so you've heard me talk about this, Austin, but I don't think you've heard me talk about it. Number 5 is Persona 5 Royal.
Okay.
I've heard you talk about it.
Okay.
I was curious which one this was going to be.
I recently I bought it like a summer ago, and I bought it not expecting much. I knew it was going to be a long playthrough, but I was down for something new, and I started playing it. I started playing the vanilla version first, and I played through it once, and then as soon as I finished playing it, I was like, I have to play again. I have to play again right now. So I played it again. Shortly after finishing my second playthrough, I bought the Royal version, much better, so much. It's awesome. There's so much you can do in this game. I have literally put 400 hours into this game because of how much I love the story and the combat in it. It's great. I highly recommend it.
I tried it. Not for me.
Fair enough.
I heard it's really good.
Jack, you wanted to say your number 4?
My number 4. Let's look at my list now.
He's rewriting as we go.
Yeah, no. No, it is.
So actually, I moved.
My number 4 is Call of Duty World at War. This was the first, the oldest. It wasn't the first Call of Duty game I played, but it was the oldest for sure. But I really liked it. I was trying to decide between this and Call of Duty Black Ops 2. That was the first Call of Duty one I played. I just like World at War better personally. I don't know why. I just like I just like the guns better. Like, they're not all full auto type of thing. You have to be a little more. It's a little more clunky on purpose because weapons weren't as polished as they are in a modern.
Yeah, it was like a design choice, and I
Yeah.
kind of had that when I just recently played Mafia.
Mhm.
Like, it's set in like the 1930s during
Yeah.
Prohibition period, and it was like intentionally by design. They intentionally made the cars and guns very clunky.
Yeah.
The car mechanic didn't bother me too much, but like the gun mechanic, it was a little too clunky and did distract me a bit. But overall, it's a very interesting and fun design choice in games.
Yeah, that is my number 4. Call of Duty World at War.
Cool.
I was not expecting a Call of Duty game to make this.
Yeah. Well, if there was gonna be a Call of Duty game, I would think it. I wasn't thinking World of War. I was thinking like ones that everyone praises, like Modern Warfare 2,
Yeah.
Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2.
Yeah.
Like those ones are the key go-to games.
Yeah, Black Ops 2 was there in my first draft, but then I just rewrote it. I personally like World at War better. Black Ops 2 is really fun, don't get me wrong. I love that. I played the heck out of that game. I played it more than World at War, but I like World
Transit
at
was
War.
a lot of fun. That was probably the most I played zombies.
Yeah.
Though I did like the Moon DLC for the original Black Ops.
I don't think I played that.
Oh, it was so much fun. Going on to my number 4, I have Minecraft. This game, I enjoyed Minecraft. It's like one of those games I always come back to. Like, I'll take a break, but I think I still play it quite a bit every year. And like currently right now, Chris and I have a realm that we're working on with a bunch of other friends, and it's just been a fun experience. Like, you get to express creativity, and like it's one of those things like where you get you can get so many projects going at once, and then you can quit, come back and look around what you're doing, and then get inspiration get inspired to work on something out of nostalgia, or even better, you can come up with ideas for builds from playing other games. Like one of my favorite builds that I've done is I remodeled the end chamber right before you go into the end portal, and that was a heavy inspiration after playing the Tomb Raider games.
Ooh.
And like it was just so much fun to build. It's just like playing a lot of games and a lot of inspiration. It's just a lot of fun, and then like there's great like every year they have some big update, and it always makes the game feel a little different. Past couple years haven't been the greatest. I think the last big one was probably the Caves and Cliffs update, but it's been a fun road, and this game's been out for 12 years. At least I've been playing it for like 12 years.
It's
I'm
been a while.
looking it up.
I'm just trying to think about like I know they had like a pre-release one that came out in 2009, but I didn't really start playing until like 2012, 2013. And yeah, it's just been a huge part of my life, and I'll still see huge videos get a lot of views on YouTube nowadays. And yeah, it's just a fun game overall. You can play with a lot of friends. You just get to express yourself, get to have fun combat.
2011.
2011.
November 18th.
Yeah, I think that might have been the pre-release versions. Yeah, Minecraft. I think it's one of those games that can remain timeless for a long period of time, because especially since it's just so simple.
Yeah.
And it's not high definition either, and it's just it's an open sandbox world.
Yeah, there's so much you can do with it.
All right.
Chris, what's your number 4?
We've said my number 4 already. Oh no, the order's been changed. That's right. My number 4. My number 4 is The Witcher 3.
There it is.
Yeah.
I knew it was gonna make it top 5.
I love The Witcher 3. It's a great game. The world alone, I love Roach. Don't get me wrong, but you will find me on foot most of the time just so I can just run around. But yeah, I love the story. I love the world, and I just love so much fun to play. and the DLCs as well. Oh, and I love Gwent. I really want to play the card game in the game. I want to play.
They have physical versions.
Yeah, I would love to have a physical Gwent deck.
We sold it at GameStop. $70, but we sold it at GameStop.
See, that's why we don't have one.
Yeah, same here.
Probably
So-
more expensive now.
Yeah, probably. They might still be making it. I don't know.
And I don't think that's why I think they're more expensive. Because first off, Witcher 3 won Game of the Year back in 2015.
That's good.
And then, it's been several years since they released them. They're probably not releasing them. They're probably at least in a couple hundreds.
But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I'm next. Where I'm just gonna go on to my number 3, Pokemon Heart Gold.
Really?
Yeah, it's the first Pokemon game I ever played. It's
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. No, it's also just the best one.
Yeah.
I think it's the best
Here,
one.
1 second. Shut up, Austin. Anyways,
I didn't say anything. I've only played Black version 2. Also very good.
I haven't played Heart Gold myself. I've only started playing Silver, like the original
Gen 2
Silver.
Yeah.
Cannot get past Whitney. Oh my God,
Oh my-
her milk tank is terrible.
No,
I
she's
hate it.
famous for it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
People have to plan ahead.
Yeah,
when
it's
just for that
so-
one
so bad.
Pokemon.
So bad.
And they didn't
but-
fix it in the remake.
No, they didn't.
They didn't. They purposely didn't. They give you more. They give you more opportunities.
Yeah, but
But
it's,
they don't. Yeah.
that just the fact that her milk tank has a Lumberry alone
Yeah.
is ridiculous.
For context, without going into game mechanics, Whitney's Miltank was famous for being notorious because it has moves that stop you from attacking, stop you from being able to do things. It heals itself.
Yep.
And it deals a crap ton of damage.
Yep.
It is very hard to beat, and it's an early game fight too.
Yeah.
And you're breezing along through the game until you hit her.
It is
Hit
the
that.
first difficulty spike in the game. But
Yeah.
so why is it your favorite?
So it is so I have a whole story as to how I got it. I'm not gonna go into it. We just don't have the time. But I had a hard time getting games. I just couldn't afford them. My parents couldn't afford to buy me, video games. Even just on the DS, where the brand new ones were only $40.
Oh, those were the days.
Yeah, I know,
Right.
right? I ended up getting Heart Gold. It's probably the game I have the most hours on. Period.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
Period.
Fair. And so you're number 3?
It's only my number 3 because I haven't played it in a very long time.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
It's been a very long time since I
But
played.
you also have to factor in replayability and
Yeah.
what it is. Cause
Yeah.
I guarantee you, I have more hours on Fortnite and Minecraft
Mhm.
because they're not story-driven games.
Yeah.
And it's like story-driven games. At least for me, I play them and then I take a break from that game and I might play another story-driven game. I might play Minecraft. I might play Fortnite for a good period of time,
Mhm.
and then I'll come back to it.
Yeah.
Thing is with me and Pokemon, I never have a problem replaying a game ever. The only time I
No.
have a problem is if I want to complete the Pokédex and get the shiny charm. In which case, I just use another profile on my Switch to play through the game because I just use different Pokemon every time. That's all I do.
Yep.
Heart Gold and Heart Gold. I didn't play Soul Silver. But Heart Gold, I think I've played literally dozens. It's probably over 100 times I've played through the first half of it.
Yeah.
Because then you go back into Kanto and do not a whole nother game, but it's essentially
Yeah.
you fight another you fight another 8 gyms, and then you go and fight Red, the character from the original.
Yeah. It's great.
Anyway, I very much love it. It has so many mechanics that they've brought a few of them back, but it's just amazing.
All right, going to my number 3. It's Batman Arkham City.
Of course.
What I love about this is that it takes Arkham Asylum, which kind of reinvented story-driven combat. Its combat system has been very influential in so many other games, including the more recent Spider-Man games.
Yeah.
And it got refurbished in Arkham City, and also they added some more gadgets. And honestly, I think the story's more interesting. Don't get me wrong, I would really like to see a Batman movie where Joker takes over Arkham Asylum and you have to fight through a bunch of the rogues. But Arkham City's story is just much more deeper, and it has a lot more emotional weight to it, and it's just really fun to kind of glide through a whole city. Not a whole city, you do that more in Arkham Knight, but a good portion of a city, and everything kind of feels memorable, like the museum, Joker's little factory, even Freeze's Mr. Freeze, who is probably my second favorite Batman villain besides the Joker.
Right.
And you get where he has a frozen, abandoned GCPD headquarters, and the missions are all very unique, and I think what they did better with the final boss fight is they found a way to kind of incorporate all your abilities, unlike what they did with Arkham Asylum, and it's just I think it's a really great game.
So my number 3. To explain why I love this game so much, I have to explain the situation I was in when I played it, and I'll make it quick. But my first console was the Wii system, and I still love the Wii. But shortly when I got into it, Nintendo decided to discontinue the Wii and stop producing more Wii games because the Wii U was coming out. But I wanted to play more games. I wanted to play newer games, but I didn't because the Wii couldn't do that anymore. I had to find a new console. And then I saw a trailer for this game, Ratchet and Clank, the 2016 remake of, or reimagined of the original game from 2002. I saw the trailer and immediately fell in love with this game. It was just the story alone and the dynamic between Ratchet and Clank is beautiful. I love the guns and I love how silly it is. It fits my humor perfectly, I think. And I not only did I buy the game, I bought the console the same day, and I saved up for it. I had enough money for the 4, but I was like $3-4 short to buy the game as well. Luckily, my dad was like, you know what, here, gave me the extra $4 but until this day, he still says that $4 of the PlayStation 4 is his, and will not give it to me. But, it's still one of my favorite games.
Did you ever pay him back the $4?
I've been trying to.
All right, so my number 2 is Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2, the original versions, not the remakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are the reasons why I rewrote my list, because growing up, me and my best friend, that's what we did. When we hung out, we would get on his original Xbox, and we'd play these games, 1 or 2. It just, honestly, the only reason we would play one over the other is the maps. That was the only reason.
No, I agree. When I was growing up, my cousin and I would go to my grandfather's house, and we'd play it on his PlayStation 2. It was just one of those fun games. Specific standouts for me were Bespin platforms. Where you're, like the ones where you're up in the sky.
Yeah.
Me and my cousin would always go on top of the little tunnel areas, and then we'd flank around and shoot them in the back.
Yeah.
And then it's just also an easy way if you lay down or go prone, and you can just get some easy shots because no one's looking for you up there.
Yeah.
That was always our strategy for that. And also the Kashyyyk beaches.
Yep.
Like I just love going to those tree buildings. Yeah, I loved it so much that I did get the classic collection that just released. I know people have been shitting on it online. I don't play online. I just play it for the maps. Galactic Conquest is a lot of fun, and just the story mode where you get to play through the movies. It's just fun there. So I've always had a good time with it.
I might legitimately buy them. I don't. I haven't bought them.
You can get it. I'll play with you.
Yeah. I haven't bought the new one. I'll look at.
They're cheap.
prices.
They're only like $30.
Okay. Yeah, I grew up. Those were my favorites. My favorite was actually playing as Darth Maul, because in the original ones, for those who haven't played them, the Force sprint. Any Force user in the game sprints crazy fast, and Darth Maul throws his double-bladed lightsaber in a. You can throw lightsabers, but his is double-bladed. So I'd sprint up to the battlefield, see a bunch of clones, throw it, and then just annihilate a line of them and come back, because the Jedi were all the heroes were super powerful.
Overpowered.
They were yeah,
but so much fun.
Yeah, and the idea was that you would just play with a friend who was also be a hero at one point, or villain. I just say hero, but the troops have no chance against them. It takes like 20 troops at least to take down any like named character in that game, which is awesome when you're playing against just playing locally with your friend. I absolutely love them. They're my number 2.
All right. Number 2 for me is Rise of the Tomb Raider from the last Tomb Raider trilogy. That game is so much fun. Just the story that they're telling with the Lost Prophet is so interesting and like very detailed. Plus, you get to see the bad guys' goals for the show, and it's just for the game, and it's really interesting and there's really good performances all around it. Gameplay is a lot of fun. You get to kind of just traverse through this. You get to sneak. You can hunt some animals to get crafting gear. I'm not usually a person who loves crafting in like open world games, but it is so much fun in that game, and you get to upgrade your gear doing it, and it just you feel that level of progression throughout the whole game, and then going through tombs and getting special abilities with that is a lot of fun. And the tombs are like a good degree of challenging where you actually have to think about what you're gonna do, but they're not so difficult that you just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun completing all the Tomb challenges. And I don't usually do a lot of collectibles, but for those first 2 Tomb Raider games, I really tried to get all the collectibles I can in that. And it's just a great time. I definitely recommend getting it.
Yeah, I've only played the first one in the remakes.
Oh, the one on the island?
Yeah,
I really like that
Yeah,
one. I think the map is better on that one and more iconic, but gameplay-wise and story-wise, I go to the second one.
Yeah, I've been meaning to play it. All right, my number 2 is Skylanders. So Austin can attest to this because we live on the same floor. But we recently started talking about Skylanders, and I brought my entire collection with me to college. I could not stop myself. I wanted to bring about maybe a third. I took one look at what I was leaving behind. I was like, nope, can't do it. So I literally brought all of my figures.
What do you have?
I have 94 figures.
Okay.
I counted every single one.
And I never played Skylanders until just this week.
Yeah.
And
I was sore with Skylanders, but
because the only like Toys to Life game I played was Disney Infinity, and I got both 2.0 and 3.0. Loved it.
Yeah, I have every single one for the first game, the second game. I am missing 9 from the third game, and I only have 6 from the fourth game. I choose not to believe in the fifth and sixth game. I know it's a lot of money, but like it's just it's no different than like spending money on like Magic the Gathering.
No, I agree. I very much agree.
Or just buying skins in Fortnite. Or
Yeah,
literally
exactly.
any
I
other-
think it's worse than buying skins in Fortnite.
No.
No, sorry. Better. It is better than buying skins in Fortnite because you have something physical.
Well, on the other hand,
in
though,
my personal opinion.
well, yeah, you get that at the collection, but you are locking like gameplay mechanics, and like if I remember correctly, at least with Disney Infinity, you couldn't access some areas without a certain character.
Yeah, that's kind of how it is with Skylanders too. Like there's certain elemental gates that you can't unlock without the right element. And later, like particularly the gimmicks one, like in Swap Force, there are like mixed gates. And you need to have a Skylander who is a Swap Force where you can change the top and bottom half to open it. But sometimes it's like, oh, here's a life and air gate. So you need one of both life and air Swap Force to open the gate. It's dumb, but that's my second favorite game. Honorable mention, Jack.
Honorable mentions. Okay.
And we'll go quickly through these because we know
Yeah.
this episode's getting really long.
All right. My first one, you guys probably have never heard of, is Dicey Dungeons. Real quick thing, it's basically it's a dungeon crawler, but you play as a die. Personally, I got transformed into a die by Lady Luck. It's very simple. Like it could easily be a mobile game. I feel like basically you roll dice and then you use them and then you use the numbers to use certain tools, and that's how you beat the enemies, and the enemies do that back to you. It's very simple, very cartoony. I love it. If I need something to turn my brain off while I'm trying to like get tired enough to go to sleep, I play that. That's what I do. It's my go-to. Look it up. Another one is Assassin's Creed Black Flags.
Ooh, yes.
That's a good one.
If I had to pick an Assassin's Creed game, it's Black Flags. I almost did Assassin's Creed 3, but
That's
there's just-
also
it's very, very good, but there's just so much. I don't find the American Revolution story as compelling because it's a lot more popularized than like an historically accurate like pirate ship type thing.
Yeah.
To me, it's just not as compelling.
That's fair.
Just the story. Everything else, I like 3 better personally. But not even the story, just the setting. But Black Flags is very, very good. And the last one, I have one more honorable mention, and that is Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, okay, that's
Okay.
fair. That's fair.
Yeah, people it's got so good. I'm a major D&D nerd. It was originally on my like actual list, but it's just not a favorite of mine. It's an amazing game. I prefer playing actual D&D.
That's
if
fair.
I can't play like actual D&D, I'll play Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
Actually, I've yet to.
Baldur's Gate 3 is on my wish list, and I think we have a plan to try and play it with people once it lowers in price or at least goes on sale.
Yeah.
It will eventually.
Oh yeah, definitely. Going to my honorable mentions, I have the Mortal Kombat franchise, specifically the NetherRealm Studios ones. Basically coming from MK9 to the current game MK1. I love the lore that they have with Mortal Kombat, and it's just been a part of my life for a very long time. I think I mentioned it briefly in this this episode alone. I got started at an early age where I got to play the tag team mode in MK9 with my dad, my brother, and my sister, and it was just a lot of fun. And it was a good introduction to the world. And then the games have gotten better. This current one's got its issues, but I still like Mortal Kombat. It's a fun franchise. Another honorable mention for me is one that's not too well known, which is Marvel Nemesis: Rise of the Imperfects. I've talked to Crace about this.
Yeah.
But it's like this really old, I don't want to call it a platform, but like an arena fighter filled with Marvel heroes. And like it's super dark, and I kind of like it for that, because how often do you get to hear Spider-Man say, after he kicks someone's ass, saying, you know what we call that? We call that a web swinging ass kicking. And there really hasn't been a Marvel fighting game like that, let alone a Marvel fighting game to that degree. And I really think that game deserves a remake where it doesn't have the EA original exclusive of the Imperfects. But I'd just love to see a remake or some sort of Marvel fighting game in that style with just Marvel characters. And I feel like we desperately need that as Marvel fans.
And fun fact, that's actually what started this whole podcast, because we were like discussing how to make one of these games.
Yeah, and this was my pitch. I found an old document I had where I was actually writing out my roster for the game, and I have a story concept. We will probably talk about that on one of our episodes, I guarantee it.
Yeah, definitely.
And I really want to see a Marvel fighting game like this. Final one I have is Star Wars: The Force Unleashed. Like this Jedi Survivor game, the Jedi Fallen Order, or the Jedi, Survivor. The new Jedi Fallen Order and Survivor. Yeah. All these Jedi games are fun, but they're just not as good as Force Unleashed, where you get to be as the bad guy and have all the Force abilities. And I originally played it on the Wii, so I got to swing around the remote like an actual lightsaber and just feel overpowered. Plus, the Wii is the only version that had like a versus mode where you got a whole roster with like half the roster is the main character you play as in different costumes. Yeah. But then you get characters like Luke Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and you got some really obscure ones like Shaak Ti, Asajj Ventress, and Marin Brood.
Yeah, this is on my list. I really want to play it so badly.
It's so good. I definitely recommend it. But I really would like to see this game remade and maybe updated a little bit with its controls. But this game deserves to be remastered, but it deserves to be remastered for consoles and PC.
So I only have one honorable mention, and it's the Henry Stickmin collection. I know it's a weird one for me to say, but so the fourth game in the series, Fleeing the Complex, was the first video I ever found of Markiplier, and so it holds a very special place in my heart. And it started me on my whole like YouTube phase, just watching like so many different creators, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye. Just the series alone, it means a lot to me. I bought the complete edition, and I've beaten it a few times. I think it's hilarious. I love it. That's about it.
Top ones. My favorite game of all time. And guess what? It's another Pokemon game.
No.
Take one guess. What is it? Grace, you know this one. What is it?
Oh, is it Pokemon Arceus?
Yes, it is Pokemon Legends.
Yes! That also kind of in my honorable mentions.
Yeah, so Pokemon Legends Arceus was the game I needed.
Yeah.
So growing up, Pokemon Heart Gold was actually one of my first video games, period. So I've been a Pokemon fan since the second grade. And it was when a friend of mine gave me 2 Pokemon cards. That's what started it all.
Yeah.
That's when he introduced me to it. But anyway, I have wanted, for those who don't know, there's Pixelmon, which is Pokemon in Minecraft. It's a Minecraft mod where you play Pokemon. And I wanted to play it, but I didn't like Minecraft enough to like really get into it. But in it, you can like craft ingredients and you can aim and throw Pokeballs on it. I'm like, I really want that. And then they made an official Pokemon game that had those mechanics.
Yeah.
I flipped out.
Yeah, you're not the only one. As soon as I saw like just running from Pokemon, attacking you, it was like, yes, please. And now, so now we have to talk about this. Pokemon ZA. Austin's over here sulking because he can't contribute, but
I'm also keeping an eye on time.
So
can't go too far into it.
But oh my god, I cannot wait until Pokemon ZA comes out. I'm gonna play the shit out of it. Yeah, I love Arceus, but yeah.
So yeah, at the time of this, we just have the announcement trailer for Pokemon Legends ZA. We know nothing about it except for what was in the original release trailer. But we talked and like we immediately, me and Chris messaged and we were flipping out. Anyway, but yeah, so it is my favorite. It has the hardest boss battle I have ever faced. is Arceus. And
Ah.
here's why. Because I was playing in handheld mode on my Switch. Because it was like 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've reached this. I can't wait. So I played this boss battle. And I was playing in handheld mode. I think I tried like almost 20. It was at least over 10 times. And I couldn't beat this guy in handheld mode. So at like 2 a.m., I went downstairs, put it in the dock, and I played at like 3 a.m. I played this and it took 3 tries. I bought like a more traditional style controller for the Switch. And I finally beat it that way.
Yeah.
And I'm replaying it now, and I'm going to have to buy another traditional style controller just to beat that guy.
I haven't played him against him yet, but that's just because I'm too busy.
It's so good.
Yeah, I'm just too busy trying to complete the Pokédex. But
Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
All right, my number 1 game, Red Dead Redemption 2.
what?
I'm playing through that right now.
I never knew. You are too?
Yeah, like I was playing it like 2 nights ago.
I finally got Grace to download it and install it, so
Yeah.
he's kind of playing through it right now.
Yeah, I'm
he's
trying
feeling
to.
distracted.
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't think I could say anything better than what everyone online says.
Yeah.
This game is literally a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Such fun gameplay, such great, rich storytelling, and I will die on the hill that Arthur Morgan is, as of March 2024, is the best video game protagonist ever, because he's not a good guy.
No.
And he knows that he's not, but it shows that even bad people can have a little bit of goodness in them and can redeem themselves, and him entitled Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
And he's such a fun, charismatic character, and a lot of great customization you can do in the game, whether it's by his hairstyle, his beard, the clothes that you can buy at the stores, or even the hats that you can steal from enemies that you kill.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of fun. He's got a lot of great quips, and a lot of people were upset that he was going to be the main character instead of John Marston when this game was first coming out. Everyone nowadays, for the most part, thinks that Arthur Morgan is a better character than John Marston. And don't get me wrong, I love John, but Arthur Morgan,
They even
great
talk.
character.
I gotta finish this game.
It's so good.
It's so long.
It's 50-hour gameplay, but I kind of fly through it. I'm more on the story drive.
Yeah.
I don't do a whole lot of side quests, but there's some side quests that you really want to do, and some of them really add to the story.
Yeah.
And I can't go any more about this because I will go over time. It's
Yeah.
just a beautiful, beautiful game, like graphically and just thematically.
Yeah,
it's
just
so
everything.
good.
Everything's
I've
great.
never heard a bad word about this game.
It's just really, really unfortunate he got snubbed at the Game Awards to God of War.
I mean, God of War was good.
Yeah,
But I think looking back,
how many people nowadays
yeah,
like they still
nowadays-
say God of War is good, but most people would say that Red Dead Redemption 2 is
Right.
Oh,
yeah, I know. I
nowadays,
was just
Red Dead
making a
Redemption
joke.
beats it out easily. I think most people would say that.
Yeah.
All right, Grace, what is your number 1?
I think you all know. I haven't really been shy about my favorite game. I've mentioned it before, particularly with you two. I know he knows it because I brought it back over here recently.
I know it, but I can't think of it right now.
Okay, my favorite game of all time, hands down, is Epic Mickey. I fucking love this game.
You just told me about this, actually.
Yes, okay. So
Early.
it was one of the very first games I ever played on the Wii. Like when I first got the Wii, my very first console, it came with Mario Kart, and my mom bought me Mario Brothers with it. The next game that I bought was Epic Mickey, because I saw the trailer and I was like, yes. I love the story. I've been playing the thinner side for the first time. Because it's getting remastered. I might accidentally buy the game 4 different times, 2 physical copies, 2 digital copies. I love this game. I could go on for hours, but I know I can't.
People are excited for this one.
I cannot wait. I'm like a skinny little squirrel girl right
and
now. but
I think
yeah.
I haven't played it, so I'm gonna pick it up and check it
Oh,
out.
for sure.
Yeah,
I just don't play it in the same room as me. I will say how bad.
Why do
you
you
play.
think I kind of waited until winter break to play The Witcher?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So we didn't have a single overlap with
You
video
didn't
games.
have a single overlap, not even honorable mentions.
No.
Not the video
And-
games, not the movies.
And you thought we would.
I thought we would have a few.
I was confident that I felt like if we had anything, it was going to be Minecraft.
Yeah.
Because it's just like a very universal game. I wasn't aware that you kind of weren't big on it.
Yeah.
But it's just like one of those games that's been so universally big for so long. I felt like that would be the one game. Especially
Yeah.
since you got so many different play styles to it.
One thing I thought at least 2 of us would mention: Skyrim. Oh, let's mention Skyrim.
I mean, I have a list of my top 10.
Yeah.
And Skyrim was in like number 6 just
Yeah.
because I couldn't put it any higher than like the ones that I mentioned.
See,
Yeah.
I'm just not a big Bethesda fan.
Yeah.
I think I've discussed with you, I don't like how they kind of release bad games and people kind of refer to it as like, oh, look, it's a Bethesda game. Look, they got this funny bug.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'd rather have a good game. Yeah, it's just like, not really my thing. And again, I do tend to lean more towards the sci-fi games than I do fantasy.
That's fair.
Yeah, so that is also a big influence.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I'm against fantasy games.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do is towards the end of each episode, we're gonna spin the pitch wheel, and for our next episode, it's kind of what we discussed at the beginning. We'll have a concept, and then we'll give each other 30 minutes off the air, which you guys won't notice at all, and we'll give our pitches for whatever the pitch is.
Yeah.
So for let me just get the wheel ready.
Let me know
For
when-
our first pitch,
Let me know when you do it.
I am spinning now. Oh, we're gonna start off pissing a fan base.
Oh, wait, what? What's our first one?
Get ready, boys. The first pitch will be remake the Star Wars sequel trilogy.
Oh, yes! Oh my god,
Oh, we're gonna
okay.
make so many people mad, or we're gonna.
Oh
who
my
knows?
gosh.
All right, so
Remakes.
that's gonna be a fun concept. We'll have 30 minutes when we start our writing session. You guys won't know about it, but by the time our next episode comes up, or I guess the next long episode, we'll have our pitches and we'll share those with you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for listening.
Yeah, we know this was a really long one.
Yeah, this is going to be a long one.
I'm gonna be editing this, and I'm gonna have to like choose stuff to like. It's gonna be choppy at points because we talk too much, and I just had to cut stuff out.
Yeah.
So I apologize, even though you have already listened to it.
Mm.
I have yet to do it. So
But thank you so much for watching.
what? Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much for listening. You can tell we're new at this.
Yeah. That's saying it.
The Three Not So Wise Men, Grace Baker, Asta Michaelis, and Jack Green. Special thanks to Louis Trotter for the beautiful intro. See you next time.